We also have well-being. We even have
Mm.
outreach clubs. If you like the idea of giving back to the community, we have those clubs as well at Deakin. So that's how we really encourage students to be more present. Like that fits the whole brand of a Deakin student. Like
Yeah.
we like to show care for society and for
Yeah.
other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that
Yeah.
actually, because Deakin in general has so many opportunities for students to be involved, and
Yeah.
with low barriers of
Mm.
involvement. So for example, if you just want to be in charge of campus tours,
Yeah.
or even just volunteer for example, they have these volunteers whenever there's orientation weeks, and then they're the people wearing the pink shirts.
Ah.
So yeah, it's really easy to just pick up a shift
Yeah.
and just join in. And then when you join those experiences, you also gain friends along the way. So that's why a lot of uh, first year international students, they do that because it's also a way to get to know more people in the community. And speaking of low barrier entry for clubs and stuff, I've already moved on from Deakin Women in STEM, but I'm actually in the process with the Filipino community to open the Deakin
Wow.
University Filipino Collective.
Wow.
So it's a new club, and it's a bit unfortunate that the same with Deakin Women in STEM. Um, there wasn't a club that already existed because it could literally be a legacy club at this point, right?
Yes.
Ideally, it should be. But for Deakin University Filipino Collective, there was a Filipino club a few years back, but then they closed down, and then now we're basically just reawakening it because we have a
Yeah.
new, with Francis and
Yeah.
and Jess's work, with the Filipino students and
That's
onboarding them
right.
with how life is in Australia and then studying there. It really is the good time to
That's
open up a
right.
new club.
And I may add as well, we actually have, aside from Nikki, who's very passionate about Deakin and
Yeah.
sharing the Deakin message, we actually have three Filipino student ambassadors in Deakin now, and one of them is an
Yeah.
AUG student. So
Yeah.
Joel
Yeah.
is one of our students who's doing really well at Deakin, and he's also one of our Filipino ambassadors. I think total student ambassadors of Deakin, there are about 6 or 7 of them, and 3 of them are Filipino students. So
Wow.
we're very
Big.
proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah, we're seeing a trend because
Yeah.
I would understand why the Filipino club wasn't sustained before. I
Yeah.
think it was because a lot of the students from Deakin before were mostly
They're
very like
postgraduate.
postgraduate
Yeah.
or very like busy programs
Yes.
like nursing, for
And the pandemic
example, and the
happened.
pandemic
Yeah.
happened. So but now we're seeing more Filipino students coming into Deakin for and a lot of younger students now as
Yes,
well.
definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're excited to see the Filipino community in Deakin grow.
Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get more Filipino students coming in and joining our Filipino
Yeah.
collective. So we're very happy. Yeah.
You know, it's very amazing to hear from both of you, right? That Deacon offers not just for you to learn, but
Yeah.
Deacon offers opportunity, experience, and networks
Yeah.
for our international students, especially for our Filipino students,
Yeah.
right? And then, you know, friends, support is a big word for us here. But how does Deakin actually support the international students, especially the Filipino students, when it comes to their academic and, of course, pagdating mo doon, 'di ba? The culture shock and
Yeah.
everything like that.
It's true. And that's something that we are also very mindful of.
Mm.
And I would say Deacon's a bit experienced in that because, for one, we have a very big international student cohort.
Mm.
Total population of Deakin is about 60,000 students, but within that 60,000 students, about 15, 16,000 are international.
Yeah.
And it's not just focused on one nationality, it's a very diverse group
Mm.
also. So we've created support systems that are really designed to help international students adjust, make sure that they're comfortable, and most importantly, that they're safe in and outside of campus. I'd say maybe what I would highlight are the safety services of Deakin. We have emergency support services available for international students, free counseling services, which is a very big thing.
Mm, of course.
We even provide accessibility services for disabled students. We have a dedicated office for international students. It's called Student Central. That's where students can access resources. Like if they need help with
Yeah.
anything, they can access. Just go book an appointment with the Student Central advisor,
Yeah.
and you can seek assistance there. We have academic support services, just in case we find students are falling a little behind with
Yeah.
their schoolwork or they need some time to adjust. We provide intervention services for students. We can advise, um, you know, peer support groups that they can join in, or we have course advisors to make sure that students are choosing courses that are fit for them and their strengths. And I would like to highlight, Nikki mentioned it earlier, support services when it comes to employability and careers. We have an award-winning service. It's called
Yes.
Deakin Talent,
Yeah.
where we help students become more employable. While the students are studying, we provide services when it comes to, for one, we curate internships for students.
Yes.
So that's something that we
Yes.
actually also do. I would say that's Deacon's strength because students wouldn't need to find the internship opportunities themselves, which of course you're in a foreign country. It's really
Yes.
hard to find, work placements, get where you can get work experiences. But for us, because we're very well connected with industry, we actually have a robust list for students to choose from. Students have the opportunity to nominate their own internships, but most of the time, students would choose the ones that are in the Deakin Talent roster. Yeah, and we also provide workshops where students can find part-time work, research assisting opportunities. More importantly, when students are about to graduate, we provide students with opportunities to network with industry professionals. In fact, I think because of our strength when it comes to employability and careers, it's the employers actually approaching Deakin and looking for our graduates. So most of the time, we're treated as sort of a recruitment center as
Yeah.
well for recruiters in Australia because they're the ones coming into Deakin and seeking our graduates. So I would say that's just one of the many things that we
Wow.
support with.
Yeah, I can attest to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Like with
Yeah.
Deakin Talent and just like the resources Deakin has for careers and employability, especially for someone like me, an international student. Yeah. A little while back, they were basically just like spreading out the word that there was this internship with Ford Australia, and I just applied like out of nowhere. Yeah, my Ford Australia internship was through Deakin. It was the first. I was just in my second year, and it was the first ever internship, like the official internship, like for my work experience unit in Deakin, that I applied for, and then somehow I managed to get in despite the competition. But it just shows that for big name companies, Fortune 500 companies such as Ford, for example, like Deakin is able to be connected with them and also just like establish like an internship and other workplace placements basically. And if I could just like touch on more on like other support systems, because like I feel like
Sure.
I feel like
Sure, yeah.
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 I could literally talk about it all day.
Yeah.
There's a reason why during my panels that I get invited to in Deakin or like any events, like whenever I have to like say something about Deakin supports like systems, I always say that Deakin is like number one in student satisfaction because it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel pretty satisfied in my uni, and my friends do as well. As international students, there's like a lot of things that maybe like you run into a lot of problems along the way just because of like your vulnerabilities as an international student in particular. But then Deakin International Student Services, like they really have it in their heart to look out for these international students. They will link you to safer communities. That's like a support system that basically teaches you about like if you ever you need help and you're in dangerous situations. Deakin Cap, so that's the counseling
Wow.
and psychology services. That's free. You get 6 free sessions in a school year, every school year, so it gets renewed. And then there's like a lot. Honestly, there's like writing mentors, peer mentors for your degrees, maths mentors, and then if ever you're interested in like doing like an exchange program abroad, even though as an international student you're already abroad, but you could also go to another
other
country.
way.
Yeah, so yeah, like the global
Yeah.
mobility programs. Deakin will help you with that as well.